I want to figure out what my eye patch color is and see if I have to tweak my tattoo after that. The white looks good. All these colors are just no-nos. They're too weird. This is too vibrant. Do I go just raw black? Try to tell which one of these is the darkest. It's like this one. Or do I go white? When I first made this guy, the like nose ridge to forehead ratio was absolutely bananas. It was insane. I want like a gray kind of ragged looking one. The whole thing, whole guy seems like he's monochrome. Something I'm worried about is whether I should turn HDR on or off. HDR on for Sekiro was like terrible. It was like grayscale. But I'm not really sure why that is. Okay, so one of these. This is too pristine. Select face similar to present face. Interesting. I like that. So you can start it and then choose something else if it's getting bad. No. I like that a lot, actually. What a great feature. Guy looks toothless. No, this original one's best. Aged voice, alter body. Here we go. We're getting there. Musculature, standard. Body hair color, non-existent. Legs. Everything's getting smaller. We're emaciated. It's like me in junior high. This could be a mistake. I wish I could change like his posture. He's made a lot of sacrifice. He looked, oh my god. He's made a lot of sacrifices to get all the arcane powers he has. Alright, do I need to change anything else? I think he did. I think his hair is so lustrous and shiny because of the mercury he needed to learn to you know, get him where he is today. Skin color is a weird, strange grayish silver. Mature 2 might be the most, like, ragged. Yeah, this is the most ragged for sure. I love that. I wish I could change his posture. to be like bent over and stooped, so he's lying on a cane and doing all that. That would be great. Okay, so the face has an appropriately cruel twist. The nose is maybe a bit big. And like the mouth is a little feminine, don't you think? All right, let's do a little tucking here. Let's get that mouth, lips, mouth expression. I missed this whole thing. Okay, mouth expression, happy to sad. Yeah, okay, let's bring this way down. And then it's like, let's lower these lips down a little bit. Oh, that looks sick. You can't rotate and change it. It's difficult. I feel like he's losing a lot here. But this is too thick. That's just horrifying. Half that. Lip fullness? Okay. Purse versus open. Maybe this will be the key. Okay, look at this in the beginning, from the front. It's actually pretty sick. Okay, I want to change the eye patch color now. What about a red? I can't even see red here. Something like that. All right, everything is absolutely minimized on the body. I like that. Can I change head size? No. It's fine. I don't want to mess with that. We don't want to mess with that. Okay. Is there anything on the expression or anything that I care a little more? It's pretty close to what I like. He's pretty old looking. He's got really drawn cheekbones, high cheekbones, narrow cheeks, a cruel cast to his lips. I'm still not happy with the eye patch color. And what do I think about... What do I think about the tattoo color? But like, it really goes to like not good if you take it off the vibrant whites or get into these off colors. That looks terrible. This you'll never see. It has to be one of the white ones, but it's kind of hard to tell which of these whites is. They all look terrible, honestly. All like the weird colors. So you gotta just do the most vibrant white, which I think is this one. And then this is still like a... Okay, the dark circles are at full, the skin is lustrous, the pores are clean. The dark circle color is invisible, but kind of cool. This could be like, what if I did like a red for this? It doesn't matter, you can't see it. Under the eye patch. But it's a nice detail. Maybe go back to the skin features, the cosmetics, the lip color. Maybe drop this up a little bit. One of these richer colors, I think. This looks like an acolyte. Hey, Queez, how are you doing? Maybe one of these like sort of freakish reddish ones. I'm a little red-green colorblind. This might not exactly be my specialty here, but I know what it looks good. Whether I can identify this specific colors or not. Some of these ones I think look good. I did play Bloodborne, actually, yeah. You can see I got a playlist of it, of my full Bloodborne playthrough. It was about a month ago. So I've played Dark Souls 2, then Bloodborne, then Dark Souls 3, then Sekiro before this. So it's been 2 months of pain. But luckily I just went on vacation for 2 weeks, so I'm rejuvenated. It's like nothing bad ever happened to me. Can I change the color of his loincloth? Okay, so here's the other thing. Do I want to change the... I want to change the tattoo color. What's my advice on the DLC bosses in Bloodborne? I think, to start off, those are like some of the hardest bosses in the entire series. So which one in particular are you having trouble with? Personally, I found Ludwig and Lawrence to be the hardest. Which boss are you fighting? And what weapon are you using? And we'll go from there. Fighting Koss? Okay, so a lot of people think that's one of the hardest fights in the game. The absolute key to him, the Orphan of Kos, is because he's so offensive, he's very susceptible to gun parries. I think that's the key to beating him without losing your mind. Is that, especially in the later phases, once his HP's at 50% or lower, you can learn to gun parry him like really regularly. And that's, I think, the key to beating him, because his offense is so ridiculous. He just swarms you. So yeah, don't use two-handed axe mode, and use and get good at, and like improve your gun parries on him. That was the real key to the Orphan of Kos, whatever. Yeah. That's the key to him, in my opinion, is to interrupt his attacks on you. Otherwise, you can't dodge him forever. He's just too crazy. Maria was a fun fight. I really enjoyed that a lot. Okay, so let's see how this looks like from a distance if I do this in black. You can't see it, that's what I thought. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. I feel like there's some... I could maybe change his face a little bit. Maybe a crueler mouth even more. Yeah, a lot of people think Orphan of Kos is the hardest fight. For me, it was Ludwig and Lawrence. Ludwig, especially with like some of the weapons I was using, I found extremely difficult. And Lawrence, I had to learn to respect how much damage he does, And so to be a little more careful than an average boss. You can't trade with Lawrence ever. Ever. But, Kos, I didn't have that much trouble with, relatively. And the key is to stop his offense with gunshots. Okay, so there's something not quite right. We got a little bit of a feminine mouth here. Yeah. 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 Ishin's probably the toughest fight in Sekiro. Other fights are a little more frustrating. But Ishin I found was like pretty challenging for sure. Especially on New Game Plus. One of the big keys I found for Sword Saint. I mean, he's the toughest boss in Sekiro, but for me, having played all 4 of those games in a row, each of the game I got a little bit better at boss fights. Bloodborne I had the most trouble because it was the second game I played, and there's not really hard boss fights in Dark Souls 2. And then Dark Souls 3, like, a hard boss fight would be an hour or 2. And then same thing for Sekiro. Like, a hard boss fight would be an hour or 2, but Bloodborne DLC, New Game Plus, like, wrecked me. Like, so hard. Ishin's later phases are hard to read because like the huge pike is like in the ground all the time. It's kind of hard to read where it's going. But you have to go. It's best to go to the clearing at the back and just kind of like get him with like firecrackers and everything. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I gotta do something with this mouth. Mostly the side angle. No, this is not it. Is it a lip thing? This is my first time playing Elden Ring. I know I'm going into it with very little knowledge, besides I know I'm gonna play an astrologer, and I watched like a couple of tips videos on just like minor stuff. Like had a couple of minor things. Not really, I have very little knowledge of it, which is great. Okay, so what do I need to change? Is it a mouth? Mouth width. I think that's the problem here. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Now I'm pretty happy with this. I guess his mouth, I guess he's just gonna look like he has an old woman's mouth just because he's at max age. Oh, you're welcome. I really synced that with Orphan of Kos. I honestly, once you realize how much you can interrupt his attacks on you, he's so squishy. Like, he's so delicate, but he's like the most offensive character like in the entire series, I think, honestly. Like in the entire game. So, I really think gun parries will help you realize that he's a lot more vulnerable than you think. Good luck, though. I like that you're using the Hunter's Axe. I used the Threaded Cane, and I loved it. If I ever play New Game Plus 2, I'm going to use the Moonlight Greatsword, I think. Because that's what you get from Ludwig, and Ludwig wrecked my ass harder than I've ever been wrecked in my life in a video game. I'm not even kidding. Ludwig is the hardest fight I've ever fought. Okay. Do I need to do anything else? I think we're good. If you ever read a Dragonlance book, I'm kind of going for like a Raceland thing. Totally emaciated, looking like they've dabbled in the arcane arts, and we're just gonna go. As far as I'm aware, I looked at like the different stats. Can you parry Ludwig? No. Maybe you can. Yeah, he's skinny. He's sacrificed a lot of food for all his studies. Can you parry Ludwig? I think Ludwig is kind of like most of the Cleric Beasts style fights in Bloodborne, where like you might be able to get one parry or like one stagger per stage or something. But he's a big boy. Ludwig is a big boy. I've got something. If you guys know what Ludwig looks like, I have something to show you. Hold on. I'm not sure I want to take it out of the plastic. But I bought this t-shirt at an official From Software merchandise place in Tokyo last week. So I'm not going to take it out of the plastic. But this Ludwig Beast t-shirt is so nice looking in black. It's hard to explain. Unreal. It looks so sick. The company is called Torch, and they have like a special shop in this like huge department store in Shibuya or Shinjuku, I forgot where, that had all this stuff. And there's a lot of nice stuff. There's a lot of Sekiro gear. There's some Bloodborne stuff too. It was really good. And obviously some Elden Ring stuff too. But I hadn't played Elden Ring, so it meant nothing to me. There was a Genichiro t-shirt from Sekiro. There was a Shinobi prosthetic t-shirt from Sekiro. They looked fucking amazing. A funny thing about being in Japan is that I'm about 6 feet tall, a little bit under sometimes, and then like about 180 pounds. In North America, I'm like a medium or a large, and there I'm a double large. I'm an LL. Any single time like a hotel would like give me slippers or anything like that, they would fit on my feet like a baby's. So it's kind of flattering to be like the biggest guy on a subway train sometimes, or to be able to get an LL t-shirt. I felt like a big dog. Feels good, man. Did I find Dark Lurker or Fume Knight harder? I don't remember who Dark Lurker is. Fume Knight, I think, was one of the best fights in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 did not have a lot of good fights, but I thought Fume Knight was one of, if not the best fights. But it took me a long time to learn. It took me at least an hour to learn that he was healing if you got near the idols. Then after that, it was manageable. So I can't help you because I don't remember the first one you're talking about. Dark Souls 2 was terrible. I hated it. I played Dark Souls 1 a year ago. I still kind of think it's the best Dark Souls game. Dark Souls 3 is a way smoother experience, and quality of life-wise is so much better. But Dark Souls 1 is like a clearer, more interesting game in a lot of ways. Dark Souls 3 is beautiful. But Dark Souls 2 was such a piece of shit. Like, everything they do is just to like mess with you. Like, you stand still when you're healing. It sucks. Everything about it was like miserable. It's still like in the same category. Like, it's all kind of cool because of what it is, but like there's all these mechanics and features that you will never learn. Do you know what power stancing is? Where if you're dual wielding a certain kind of weapon and have the proper amount of stats that weapon requires, you can hold a button, triangle I think it was, to change to a power stance. How would anyone ever know that? Like, how would anyone ever learn that without wikis? Dark Souls 2, I was so miserable playing. Some people like it because it's less linear and there's more secrets. But it also means it's kind of like unclear where to go a lot of the time. And like there's periods I'm just running around for like 30 minutes for not figuring out where to go. Some places like when you go through the spider cave to get to like that whole spidery, deserty area with like the mages shooting at you, it sucks, man. It's so annoying. Like where you find the people who where the way you have to find some of the people where that you need to trade in boss souls to get weapons, it's ridiculous. How would you ever find that? So that was the nice thing about Dark Souls 3 was how much more detail, how much smoother it was in terms of like the quest hub. I don't know. Bloodborne NG plus DLCs of bosses, I assume they're harder. But when I played Bloodborne, I accidentally beat the game without doing the DLC. So I only did the DLC on New Game Plus, and it was tough. So how do I start? No, aged. Okay, so now do I press circle to get out of here? What do I do? Yeah. So now, this is the thing. I think it was like, all I read is that I should do astrologer, and then there's something about an ash, or something ash that I should start with. Yeah, that was tough, man. That Bloodborne DLC on New Game Plus just ended my life. So is it the Fanged Imp Ashes? This is boring, but probably generally useful. This is a ridiculous way to start the game. I don't know why you'd ever do that. This seems tempting. Okay. Boiled prawn? I mean, this seems like the best choice, right? I heard that I was just reading how like a good way to start if you're trying to do like sort of like a standard warlocky sorcerer or magusy thing is this. I don't know what they do, but this to me this sounds like the best thing. I'm not a big summons fan. Maybe it'll help me like early on or something like that, but like summons, generally speaking, is not really... Generally, I don't find that very satisfying. Okay, so the only thing I'm wondering about is I wonder whether I should change the color of my eye patch. I'm still not quite happy with that. I think it needs a little more color. How's the gray look? Maybe brighter. You can barely tell, right? So I don't know. Everyone's got like, there's so much like Twitter bullshit and everything about like summons and what's good for the game. And I understand that some people go into other people's chat and are like, you're not really playing the game unless you're playing like level 1, blah, blah, blah. But, and some people like summons are just fine. And some people like summons are whatever. I think the key detail that people kind of miss when they argue about that is that like when you beat a boss, like you know in your stomach how you feel about it. You know what I mean? That's it. You know, like, inside how you feel. I've used summons on Dark Souls 3 bosses before, or Bloodborne bosses, and I was like, that was garbage. Like, the boss just fought the summon the whole time, and I just beat on him from behind and learned nothing. But for some people, they're like, I just want to get through this content and go on with the game. But I think people kind of know that, like, you're not really learning a fight that well if the boss is fighting the other guy. If the other guy's just adding damage, fine, that's whatever. But like, what really matters is that people kind of know in their stomach whether they just cheese to fight or whether they're just happy to get through it. If they're happy to get through it, good. That's it. But like for me, anytime in Bloodborne, I would use a summon, and then you don't like you just okay, good, I got through it. But like, where's like what did I learn from that? Nothing. All right, so I am gonna get some water and coffee. I don't know, I like it. Like my friend got through the entire DLC with using summons in every single one, and it is fun for sure. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you feel good about doing it. You know what I mean? That's it. Okay, I'm gonna get some water and some coffee, and then I'm gonna start this game. I'm wondering if I should change the graphics to HDR mode or not. That's the only thing I'm wondering. Otherwise, Humdinger's ready to go. What are you guys talking about here? I think Sekiro is the one, honestly, that I enjoyed the most. Bloodborne and Sekiro were the games that I wanted to play the most right after finishing the full run of it. But Sekiro to me was like almost anything I've ever wanted in a video game. Holy. All right, here we go. I'm so excited for this. I've been on vacation for 2 weeks. I've just been looking forward to playing Elden Ring this whole time. At some level.
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered.
Okay, George R. R. Martin, what do you got for me here?
In our home, across the fog, the lands between.
Ooh, mama.
Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found.
She's looking good in that sundress.
And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden
Through the vertebrae?
was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering.
Ooh.
A war from which no lord arose.
I'm gonna have to read every item description. I'm gonna have to read everything.
Leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all.
Yeah, I was like that with Bloodborne. What did I just read? What did I just watch?
Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask, Fear, the deathbed companion,
This is basically the exact same cinematic as Dark Souls 3.
the loathsome Dung-Eater,
Rhyming off the bosses you need to fight.
and Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown.
They've just basically, like... It is so recognizable from what Dark Souls is like. Just all the same proper nouns, all the same, like, nomenclature. Just outside of that universe.
Stand before the Elden Ring.
I understand why people think that all these universes are kind of combined in Hidetaka Miyazaki's head.
And become the Elden Lord.
They just basically, okay, it's not the same universe. We're just gonna do a very, very similar format. Okay. We got a jump and a dodge now. My god, my mobility is through the roof. Okay, what do I think about this? Where's my HUD? So triangle is now the loot button. What's a tarnished wizard's finger? What am I doing? Okay, they're giving me some real tutorial stuff here. Got it. Okay, let's do a little testing. What does that look like? Does it look the same? I can't tell the difference. We'll see outside. Like, this looks worse? This is back to normal, right? Hey, hello, buddy. Yeah, a little bit brighter is better than a little bit too dim, I find. I think I agree, this looks a little bit better. My color sense is not the best that anyone's ever had. Okay. Let's do a little review here. Where's the button I need to... Do you like my wizard's robe? I bought 2 of them, so this is my entire Elden Ring uniform. I'm wearing boxers. They're kind of riding up into my scrotum a little bit. I had to go back to boxer briefs. Can you have one? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so... How am I feeling with these... Oh my goodness. How am I feeling with these graphic settings right now? So how am I feeling with these graphic settings before I get going? They seem fine, right? I trust NVIDIA to treat me properly. This all seems fine. I'm not sure why they're downscaling from 2.5K to... I'm not sure why they're scaling from this to 2.5K, but I'll go with it. I went to an antique vintage kimono shop and I bought 2 yukata and a jinbei. Yeah. You didn't change any settings? Hey, but that cost my magic. Does it come back? Okay, let's read what my equipment does. Whoa. I got a parry shield. What's R2 do? I'll find out when I fight a dude. A jinbei is more of like a button-down short coat and elastic pants. A lot of people say they're extremely cool. In Asia, at this time of the year, it is monsoon season. It was hot. Trevor, you would have hated it. It was like 28 with insane humidity every day. I really liked it. But it was hot. It was unreal. I actually really liked it. I really like heat. Much more than cold. Cold saps my energy, I find. But some days you're walking around, you're like, dude, this is crazy. So much, drinking so much water. It's great that they have so many drinks in vending machines for like 150 yen. That was nice. I was drinking a Pocari. I was drinking like 2 Pocari sweats every day. I think I remember this and watched this on a stream. I think this is an unwinnable battle. You live in Asia? So you're like in the you're in the monsoon season right now. It was like 28 every single day in Japan. Pretty good. Sometimes you just go somewhere because of the air conditioning. Glintstone Pebble. What's R2 do? What does that do? Just a smack? Hey, look at that. Oh, I jumped there. That was a mistake. Oh boy, am I dead. Hey, like that. Hmm? Am I dead? Well, can't win them all. Was the exchange rate good? I mean, the yen is in like famously bad condition. 1,000 yen was 875 Canadian. What's going on here? Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe once I have a better sense of my mechanics, maybe I can take them out. So the big thing I learned, or the big thing I kind of realized over the course of the time in Japan is like, it's a good lesson for traveling, but like try not to eat the way you normally eat or eat the things you normally eat and kind of try to adjust to the area you're in. It's a way different like tempo for a culture. Like to find like a sort of standard Western style breakfast, really hard to do. Very few things are open and very few things are good.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side.
But if you eat like a Japanese person, it's very good value.
We found him
If you
here,
try to eat like
after all.
an American, it's expensive. I'm so into onigiri and miso soup and everything for breakfast now. It's so delicious. I had like the best digestion I've had in like 4 years. I'm not even kidding.
One of his kind
It really
is
agrees with
sure
me.
to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
Like that. Like it was a lower protein, lower fat diet in a way that agreed with me a lot. Especially the lower fat part of it. And like if you eat sort of like what people like there eat, you have like a meal for 2 for like 1,800 yen. But if you try to force into having like, you know, bacon and eggs and all these things, not only is it not good, but it's expensive too, relatively speaking. Cerulean Tears is MP, right? Mm-hmm. This is the big Todd Howard moment. Open up to the world. Oh, never mind. Just another stone wall. I played 4 of these games in a row. 1, I don't want a tutorial, and 2, I'm gonna use a mage build. Pastime flasks. Add charge to flask. Use 1 golden seed to increase your flask uses? Yes. Allocate flask charges. Yeah, I understand. 3-2. You must have a staff equipped to cast sorceries. I like that a lot. Or a sacred seal equipped to cast incantations. Okay, so we have 2 memory slots. We have Glintstone Arc and Glintstone Pebble. I heard about these. These are your standard spells, right? Do I have both of these memorized? Looks like yes. Okay, so I think I probably press up to switch between these, right? Glintstone Arc, Glintstone Pebble. What's my roll at? Status. Equip load. Medium load. Okay, so they finally tell you. It only took 18,000 FromSoft games, but they finally tell you what your load number is. So I assume you kind of want to keep a medium roll, or maybe lower. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll kind of spring around. Kind of don't want to play another game where I'm just kind of like constantly rolling like a dumbass. Maybe we'll run around. Okay. I don't play well with others. I'm an only child. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Get out of here. I hope I didn't miss anything. Okay, so this seems to be that when you have the staff, you then press R1, you press R2 to smack people, and then you press R1 for Glintstone Pebble, and then switch that to Glintstone Arc, and you use that with R1, right? That's what seems to be the deal here. I love that. I'm gonna be playing this game for weeks. It feels so good. But I do find the longer I play these things, oh yeah. Oh baby. Can you make it so I can't Can you make it? Can you hide your hood in this game? I can't see. My third eye can't see. My third eye can't see. The hood's in the way. I remember this guy. This is another one of the very rare things I know about this game, is that horse guy messes people up. Hey. They're giving me a lot of tips. I might have to turn these off soon.
Oh, yes. Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
This guy's looking at me a little directly.
Luckily for you, however,
This game is all about exhausting
there is
dialogue.
one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me, Vare. Take care to listen. Are you familiar with grace? The golden light that gives life to you tarnished. You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times. That
His
is
face
the
is like very
guidance
realistic.
of grace, a path that a tarnished
He's like looking at
must
me.
travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you tarnished to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave.
That kind of looks like that dung eater guy from the opening cinematic. I find, generally speaking, on a first run, randomly, indiscriminately killing NPCs is not usually the best move. Tends to complicate things. I did not. This is another classic video game moment. He called me maidenless. I got offended. So he hit a little bit too close to home, did he? Methinks the blue stint doth protest too much. If you got mad, then he hit a little bit to the heart of the issue, didn't he? If you are secure with your maidens. In each area, you may find effigies of martyrs. These effigies are summoning pools. You find it easy to summon other players at these locations as co-op, blah, blah, blah. Okay, got it. I did not murder anyone. All I've done is lose to the that one guy you're supposed to lose to. Otherwise, there's been no other conflict. I also know that this guy... Wait a minute. Do I have the horsey yet? Looks like no. Maidens are overrated. Be independent. What are you gonna do? Protect them? Save them? That's way less time to play Elden Ring. Any damage? No. Okay, good. Acquire materials. In every corner of the lands between, you'll find fruits and flowers, mushrooms and butterflies, and various other useful materials. These materials can be used for item crafting. Okay. How could I tell that was something I could pick up? Did it have a particular glow to it? Is it this stuff? Yeah, they're really adding some more like open worldy elements to it. I got the first Grace, who was before Vare. Didn't I get that one? That was the first one. Is there another one? I've gotten 2 already. Ooh. One shot? I didn't expect that. The full swipe? I'm such a little weak man. How could I possibly expect that having 0 muscle or anything would result in me dying? Alright. I was doing pretty good damage to this guy. This is gonna be easy. That doesn't help. Ooh, my spell missed. That's not good. Oh, my spell missed again. God damn it. This thing sucks. Oh. Okay, we got a low hit rate on this thing. So I guess you gotta wait till he's stopping and then use stuff then. I'm not worried about this guy at all. So I got this Grace. Are you saying there's another one I missed? Yeah, let's see how this goes. I also put it on the FP thing. Yo, this thing sucks. What the fuck? Oh. He parried my shot and hit me for 80% of my health, if not more. I love that. That's just what I was hoping for. So I assume the other spell, the arc, is not the one. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oops. It's not good. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh, I'm in big trouble. Okay, my spell is missing a lot. as long as he's not hitting me, my spell is missing a lot. Okay, so in this game, triangle is your interact button and square is your use weapon button. Use item button. That missed? Are you kidding? Oh. Oh, okay. It's not going well. I can't see. I think it's the first time I dodged that. Oh. Okay, you gotta be at full health. Or I had a funny feeling he was gonna block that one. It's because he was standing at me so ready. No, I know. I know he's optional. I know he's a good one to skip early on. I kind of want to get a sense of like how the game works first. He sounds like he's gonna be a little harder to hit than most people because of his horsey. Come on. Shit, he parried that while I was in midair. So then you gotta be able to roll it afterwards. He's here to like basically teach you ADC. To like you can move around. I think. He's basically here to teach you that you should like do the pace of the game at your own, the way you should want to. Oh, that was close. Oh shit. There are iframes to jumping in this? I wouldn't have expected that. There's like a little different system to each game. Sekiro jumping was basically just for mobility, except for certain perilous attacks. Oh, that was close. Looks like I have one more. Oh shit. Oh, that was close. Fuck. Ooh. I didn't expect that to do that much damage. Only downside is your arms, upper torso, and head can still be hit when you jump. Interesting. Alright, so he doesn't have... The thing that makes this doable is he doesn't have, like, multiple moves here. You know what I mean? He doesn't seem to have, like, combos on me yet. So he's kind of play a little conservatively. Take that. How do you like that pebble? Shit. Oh. I rolled too early. I think one of the other reasons that this is like not really... From what I was doing a little reading this morning when I was going for a walk, the other thing that makes this maybe not worth it is I don't think I can level up for a while. I think the other spell's like the AoE one. That costs a lot more. I'll try it. Oh shit. He's on me. Did I miss that? I think I did. Oh, what? Oh, I'm in trouble. Ooh. That did remarkably little damage, luckily. Shit. Yo, I have so little defense. I love it. I suppose if I blocked... Problem with blocking is like, if you're blocking, then you're knowing you're getting hit, but you shouldn't be playing around you knowing you're gonna get hit. Alright, I think this will probably be a couple more attempts I got this guy. Okay. What do you think of that? That's like the one melee combo I see him do. He seems to use the shield at range. Oh, that was close. I love seeing the trees go down and stuff like that. Really impressive. What? Oh. Fuck. Did that miss? I gotta heal. Oh shit. Move, move, move. Oh. The classic. Dying while drinking. Hi, buddy. How are you doing? How you doing? Ooh. Oh shit. Okay. Really? Oh, that's frustrating. Are you doing better because I'm here? Is that it? Is that why? Naturally? Alright, this guy thinks that he's winning. But actually I'm winning, because I'm learning. As long as he doesn't do his like horse shield blocks, it's actually better to be closer to him because then he's not blocking my spells. Oh, jerk. Stupid. Hit him with a curveball there. I'm not happy I did though. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. I want a more powerful spell. Oh shit. Oh. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah. I actually was. I got back home 2 days ago, and spent the last like yesterday and the day before kind of like dealing with jet lag and kind of cleaning up the house and getting things together. I think yesterday I checked on Twitch and saw you playing Underrail. What were the other 3 games you played? I'm stuck in a tree. How does that miss? That's a nice combo. How does that miss? I don't get it. Shit, move, move, move. I can't see what's happening. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, move, move. I can't believe I missed. How? Okay, this is it for spells. I gotta be careful here. Alright. There we go. Wasn't even remotely difficult. Golden Halberd. Is that a weapon? Yeah, that's right. Well, technically level what? Technically level 6. A newbie mage. Using all my spell points. Rabby Ribby, which is a game you were talking about before. Subnautica Below Zero and Phoenix Wright. Yeah, at least 2 of those games you were playing before. And yes, this is my yukata. This is my Elden Ring outfit. I went to a place called Hakone, halfway between Tokyo and Kyoto. And this is a place that's famous for its onsen, its hot springs. And so they give you like complimentary yukatas and then tabai socks and like thong wooden sandals to wear. I was wearing something like this when I was going to like the male only hot springs, which is this on day 5 or 6 of the trip, which is the only time, is the first time I had an hour to myself. I'm not complaining, but it was like the first time I had an hour to myself on the trip. So I was going to like the hot spring and soaking, and then like you shower afterwards. I'm like blow dry my hair and everything. I'm wearing one of these. I'm like, I can get used to this. This is a great outfit. It was great. A golden halberd. And so then I went to like a vintage kimono shop on the last full day of the trip. And I tried on like a bunch. Kimonos are heavy and silk and more formal and like rougher in texture and everything like that. But to get some like sort of casual wear, felt great. Also, it's funny. I took a great photo with like the shutter. Of my, like the shutter feature on my camera. So I enjoyed that a lot. Okay, so they tell you there should be golden lines in the air, but where you're supposed to go. I'm glad to take that guy out. That was pretty simple. Good luck, buddy. Whoever you are. Wherever you are. A couple of times we're taking the Shinkansen. But let me know when you form an opinion on it. I'll stand up and do a twirl later if that helps. A couple of times we were taking the Shinkansen, so it's about an hour and a half or 2 hours between areas. Are these the like consumable ones? What was the golden rune? Like, I know what I assume it is. Oh, does he use to gain 400 runes? Got it. I missed that. I missed that before. A little subtle. So I was playing a game when I get some time on the train. Normally, if I play games on my phone, you guy's got a big head. Through your map, you can instantly travel to any sites of grace that you've discovered. However, there's some dungeons and other areas where this cannot be done. Okay. Normally I like to play, when I play a phone game, I like to play like old school games that are emulated. Because if you're playing something that's kind of action-y, it's not really great for like a touchscreen. But if you're playing like an RPG, the thing is like, all you get is a couple of hours to play games, right? You're traveling. And then suddenly, what am I going to play? 8 hours of Dragon Quest V? And then what? Like sometime in the distant future, remember enough to play it again? That part's kind of weird. But I do that all the time. I start old school like 16-bit RPGs. This time it was Dragon Quest V. And then I know I'm never going to play it again. Or if I do, I'm going to want to start over. Who's this guy? Looks like Santa Claus.
Tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
Vade and Kare. It is fairly comfortable. The only thing that's uncomfortable right now is my boxer shorts, which are pulled up around my my groin.
I am of a nomadic people, selling wares as I travel.
I have to fix
The
that.
land has been
Maybe
tainted
change to
by
my all
madness
cotton
since the
boxer
shattering of
briefs.
The Elden Ring. It's only tarnished like yourself, who keep things from drying up entirely. Let's say you're a very welcome customer. You know, if you can spare the runes, you should buy yourself a crafting kit. A crafting kit allows you to make basic items on your own. Essential, really. if you intend to survive out here for any duration. The kit costs a bundle, and I admit I do take my cut. But the important thing is that you survive. Every customer counts, after all. I'm glad you took my warning to heart. You've made an excellent choice.
Did I find what I was looking for? I did. I was purposely trying not to like overhype it. It's always like a country that I've liked a lot, and there's so much of the culture that I've read about and watched and etc. But I tried not to go there thinking there was going to be something important as a trip. You just want to go to another country and see how other people live, even if it's a country that's like a little more important than usual for most places, for me personally. But it's interesting. You go there and you go to a city like Tokyo, which is so busy. Tokyo has more people than Canada does, and Canada is the second largest country in the world. Like the Tokyo area, the greater metropolitan area. And I found it was so impressive how busy it was. Like, but it's clean, relatively speaking. And compared to here, or like North America, like there's almost no like mental illness. There's not the same degree of like crazy people and like taint in the downtown area that we've just started to like let slide constantly. A lot of people smoke there as like a stress relief thing. You can see the gray hair that people have. But like there's no one's like yelling. You could be in like some of the busiest areas you've ever seen, like Harajuku or something, walking down the street of like luxury stores. There's like hundreds, if not thousands of people on the street with you. It's quiet. There's not music blaring from storefronts. It's not dirty. Like, people are pretty conscientious. It actually really, really vibes with me as a person. Like, there's like a humility and like a consideration that like I've just had to sort of like internalize here in like North America, like, cause how shitty people act and like how like thoughtless and like obtuse people are. So to go somewhere where that is different was revelatory. It was really, really impressive to see how much more considerate of a society it is. Of course, that's the initial impression. And then once you're there for a week or two, you start to realize, like, yeah, okay, they're kind of like scolding you a little bit for your habits, or like they'll kind of correct your Japanese a little bit if you try to use it. You do see the ways that they're like a little particular, and like you see the ways that they try to like, yeah, there's like a scolding, but it's worth it because like I don't find like being on the streets and walking through the world like as offensive as I sometimes find it here. Like, there's so many like thoughtless, disgusting people that I just have to see every single day, and especially when I lived in cities, but there's much less of that there. So like initially the hugely positive first impression, and then that kind of got lessened as you sort of like understand the difference for a while, but still like still very impressive, man. Like, if I was a different person or had a different life, I could see the way that living there could have been like so positive, or even could be positive if I lived there now. You know what I mean? But there's differences. There is a lot of ways that North American culture sort of like accommodates people out of normal schedules. Like in Japan, like there really, really felt like, to me personally, there was like the expectation is that you're like leaving your house and going to work. Like there's so few things that are open before like 10 or 11, relatively speaking. It seems like people like cram onigiri and some miso soup into their mouth and then go to work. And then like the first time that you have a break is lunch. And people will like, then things start to open up. But there's a lot of places in North America where like this place is open by 7 or this place is open by 8. And if you want to like lounge or if you want to go somewhere with time off, I think we accommodate that more. I didn't see that same structure in other places I went. The vast majority of the time I was in Tokyo, almost half the trip. There was 3 nights in Kyoto, 2 nights in Osaka, and then some nights in other places. I went to Hiroshima and a place called Hakone. And Kyoto, I understand why so many people like so much. And then if you want like traditional buildings and like quiet back streets of like a place like the Gaion district or something, or like those really, really beautiful storefronts with like a wooden exterior and like the kind of drapes over the wall, like over the door to make the doorway like really welcoming. They have a lot of that. But Kyoto also, this time of year and in like the very Instagrammable areas, Kyoto is like hard to enjoy with how many tourists are there. Like the really, really popular temples. One big thing about Japan that really surprised me, but once you think about how like over half the tourists are Chinese tourists, it starts to surprise you a little bit less. But like the busiest areas were like Buddhist temples. They're slammed. Sensoji, Kiyomizu-dera, like Nara. These places are slammed. Where, yes, it's beautiful, but for me personally, as someone who's like a compulsive, helpless people watcher, it's really, really hard to like, for me personally, to enjoy these areas for the beauty of the architecture and to try to have the peace when there's like 4,000 people there, literally 4,000 people there. That was really surprising to me. But then like you start to look at art or you go to museums and then you look at a place like Sensoji or places like that, and then you'll see a picture from like you'll see a painting from like 1860 and it's still slammed with visitors. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I do really like visiting the Buddhist temples a lot. Tossing some coins in there. Like sort of checking out the altar. You'll be in like a relatively mild area or like a relatively residential area, and you'll see a very, very large temple, even if the outside is quite dilapidated. But you go inside and there's like 6 or 7 people like doing their prayers. But then you look at the altar and you look at the entire area and it is so gilded and so decorated and shining and burnished and in perfect condition. And it's like, you would never expect it from how it looks from outside. And there's temples everywhere. One of my favorite memories of the entire trip is I believe it was a temple to Bentendo, which I think is the name. I think it's like I think it's sort of like a fortune god, basically. And there's a guy sitting on like there's 4 rows of 4 seats. And the guy probably in his 20s is sitting there. And then a monk, tall, skinny guy, comes out of the back room and walks to the front where they have like a gong and then the sort of ringable bell pot. And he sits on a mat and he speaks to the guy who's there, kind of like in a way like asking permission or asking for help or asking just basically, it was like, do you know this thing? Do you want to do it together? And the guy's like, yes. And then for the next 10 minutes, they are, I think the monk had it memorized and the other guy was reading from a book. But they then chanted in perfect unison for 10 minutes, mostly what sounded like numbers. Like some sort of fortune chant or something. And it was spellbinding. Like he was like ringing on the gong while chanting, and the two of them had that sort of like droning buzz to it that sounded like identical to each other. Other people would come in, like women who were a little more quiet, and they'd like pray and they'd put some money in there. It was just crazy. I was sitting there for so long. My feet were always sore. I wore Converse high tops the entire week. We like come to bed. We come to the hotel room at night, and I'd lie on my back in the bed, put my feet up on the floor, and just like try to get some circulation back. We walked between 11 and 27,000 steps a day. The first like 4 nights in Tokyo were like slammed. We never stopped. It was awesome. So cool. We covered so much territory. We were there from Friday to Friday to Friday. And then by the last couple of days, we got back to Tokyo on Wednesday, and then our flight was Friday. So this is like 5 days ago, 6 days ago, whatever. By that point, I had been sort of like fighting a little bit of like a chest congestion. And by that point, when you've seen so many cities, you kind of run out of gas for like how much you care anymore about seeing new neighborhoods in a city. You know what I mean? You eventually kind of run out of gas for that. So like Thursday was the last full day, and mostly I just spent that buying stuff, going to neighborhoods largely that we've been to before, or like expanding our like knowledge of places we had been to. But by that point, the last couple of days of a trip of that length, you're not really like, oh great, another new neighborhood. But those are really impressive things about Tokyo, especially. For a city that's so busy, for you to be like, for all these areas to have basically like spawned organically different neighborhoods, that's very impressive to me personally. Like Kichijoji and Asakusa, fucking Taito City, Akihabara, all these places are so different. And how does that work when the city is so busy? Like how do you I guess to some degree it's about where do businesses choose to open up. But like, how does it not just become more homogenous? That's so interesting to me. Like, how does a place like Akihabara turn into like the most insane nerd mecca? Where am I going? Like on the planet. I was like, I'm not gonna buy any collectibles or figurines. I don't really care about like possessions or like memories of things to that much of a degree, to be honest. But I was like, okay, if I do go to some of these like really kind of popular toy collectible places and I want to get some goods, I like, if I go to some of these places and they have like, my favorite game ever is a PlayStation RPG called Xenogears. Xenogears came out in like 96 or 97 or something. I was like, if I go to one of these toy stores and I can get like a Weltall, who's like the main character's main mech, I would get a Weltall figurine. That sounds cool. And then I go to a place called the Mandrake. It's like a 5-story tower of collectibles. Each floor has a different one. I went up to the top floor and look around, and the Xenogears branding is a very distinctive, like, blood/X. And so I'm looking around, I go to the first couple of shelves or look around, and then just the X is right in front of me, and I'm like, my stomach like lurches. I was like, what? And they had figurines for the 2 main characters of the game, and oh, I'm back here. Okay. They had the figurines for the 2 main figurines of the game, Faye and Ellie, and for like the upgraded version of the main mech, Weltall. Opened, whatever. This toy came out in 1998. And they had a copy. Sure, it was 16,000 yen. But I was just so pleased to pick that up. Like, it's so crazy. I was like, I cannot possibly think. I would either get the only 2 collectibles that mean enough to me personally, and these are from very, very similar works of art, that I would get would either be like a mech figurine of Eva 01 from Neon Genesis Evangelion, or I would get a Weltall figurine. And it looks pretty good. It's decent. It'll be like on a stand, and it's somewhat posable, but I don't really care. Like, for me to actually find literally the one thing that before I even went to the country with no research, I thought I would potentially buy, that's so cool. Guide and gatekeeper for those returning to the roots. Okay. So I actually didn't buy that much to bring back. I would want RE2 PS1 Claire figurine. That's so cool. Yeah, I don't really care about figurines. I care about books and clothing and food, really. So the vast majority of the money I spent was on restaurants. I like downloaded the Michelin Guide app and like tried to bag as many Michelin Guide restaurants as I could without having a phone number in the country. A lot of places are pretty old school. Like, you have to phone for reservations a lot, which is pretty hard unless your concierge is going to do it for you. I have a lot of video games. Yeah, I have a lot of retro games. So that's a big part of it as well. But I bought a chef's knife. I bought a Mizuno chef's knife. Not too expensive. And then I bought a lot of food, and I bought a little bit of clothing. I got a really great, like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, SNES. But the problem is you can't really buy retro games in Japan because they're region locked. So I'd be getting a Japanese version of the game. It's pointless. I did buy a couple just as keepsakes, but there's not really much point. But there's a lot of different kinds of cuisine, styles of cuisine. And so a problem was that Andrea has a shellfish allergy. So it's not exactly easy to like have as much sushi as I thought. Japan loves inserting shellfish into things. So you have to watch out for like broths and soups and things like that, because some random broth will be like, oh yeah, there's your miso soup is piled high under the liquid with clamshells. Surprise! And so while you can navigate that pretty well, it's extremely anxiety inducing for someone. to go to those places. So I had a fair amount of sushi, but not too much. But there's a lot of different cuisines in Japan. Like there's like tonkatsu restaurants. So it's like breaded cutlets that you either eat on top of rice or you have in slices and then you like sear them at the table at a home grill. And then dip them in various sauces like curry or like a wasabi vinegar or things like that. Or there's like obviously a million soba shops. There's a million like udon places. There's a million like teppanyaki places. A lot of grilled stuff. You can go to like omakase style tempura restaurants where you like pay upfront a lot. And then they'll just like cook you up like shellfish and there are both crimson and cerulean teardrop scarabs. Defeat them to replenish the flask that match their type. You cannot replenish more flasks than your maximum amount. Okay, go. Cool, thank you. I wish I had done my thing before I did that. To try new experiences or just enjoy food. I tried to do a little bit of both. I tried to have a bit. I tried to try as many cuisines as possible. They refill your flask charges. Yeah, so tonkatsu, tempura, soba places, sushi places, udon places, yakiniku places, yakitori places, very, very popular to go to like the charcoal grilled chicken skewer places. That's the kind of stuff that I'm like obsessed with now. Like I bought a bunch of chicken thighs from the grocery store and you cut the chicken thigh into pieces and you put them on skewers and then just lightly brush them at the end with soy sauce. Oh my God. The weirdest thing about jet lag is that it's not just your sleep, it's your eating too. You know what I mean? So like Saturday night, I finally get home and I fall asleep at like 11. I'm exhausted. And then I wake up at like 2 in the morning. And not only am I fairly awake at 2 in the morning, I am hungry. I'm thinking about like chicken and like rice balls and all this stuff. I'm so hungry. I've actually managed to like fix my jet lag quite well. Like even last night I slept through the night, all these things. But like that's a funny part of it I never expected, is to be like ravenous at 2 in the morning. There's an 11-hour time difference. That was the biggest thing I didn't expect. I beat the Tree Sentinel. That was fun. Pew, 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 pew. Okay, so where am I going? I want to get to like... I'm like the starting level. Level 6. This is what you start with as an astrologer. So I hit him with my spells until he died. He killed me a bunch. Godric the Golden, humiliated, having his defeat by the blade of Michaela, now on his knees begging for mercy. Got it. I am like wandering around aimlessly right now. But I don't think I'm even able to level up yet. Okay, where's the golden tangs that tell me where to go? I was gonna go toward the tree. That seems like normal. Yeah, I don't even know if I can level up yet. I beat him. No, it was like, it was. I just fought him immediately. My spells hit for 86 damage. I only have to hit him about 25 times, and he has no attack combos. He just runs at you and swings once. What's that? Being attacked by something. Am I? Well, it shows up on my screen before yours, I think. I think there's a short delay on when it shows up on screen. Oh my god, it's a wolf pack. I feel like I should go somewhere before the game properly opens up. I'm not sure where that is, though. Yeah, I heard you're not supposed to fight that guy early, but I think if I had a melee attack, it would be much more difficult. All I had to do was make sure that I didn't hit him from far away range, because then he would... Oh, I think this is just pointing me to different graces. If I hit him from too far away, he would block it and reflect it. But otherwise, he wasn't very threatening. The site of grace on the map have lines where they recommend to go. Okay. This doesn't seem like the right way. Oh, that's just me. Never mind. What are these? Huh? I want to get to the point where this is like... I want to get to the point where it's sort of like clear this is what I should... Hold on. Yeah, I want to get to the point where it's sort of like clear this is the place to go. And then so things can kind of like open up and I feel better about it. That initial dude Vare said... to follow some sort of line on the map. I don't really see that though. Stay away from me, wolves. I'm not your enemy. Jumble on horseback near a spirit spring. I don't think I have a horse yet, do I? The golden line protruding northeast from the site of grace toward the bottom left. That's the way to go? Got it. Yeah, I want some clarity. How have you liked the DLC so far? Have you been playing it? I think I saw like a clip on my Twitch of like a June 28th stream or June 26th stream or something. Is that correct? You can also fast trace to them from the Mac. Go faster. Fast trace? Is that what you mean? Oh, look at that. Yeah, let's get some clarity. Toward the tree. I'm sensing a pattern here. I don't like harvesting things in the map. I don't like when games do this. It's too much. I think it depends on the person. I think I'm someone who, because I'm not that hairy, I can go like a couple of weeks without shaving. So when I do shave, it's like, oh, this is nice and nice and bright. But I have friends who are like Pakistani and shit, where it's like just this endless grind of constantly having to shave their entire life from like the age of 12 on. I'm very sympathetic to that. But I think it's kind of the same with girls. Like if you're hairy and like your upper lip and legs and armpits grow, probably sucks, you know? To constantly have to do it. But for me, it's like a nice thing to freshen up. It's nice, you know? Do I get a visitor?
Greetings,
Hey.
traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina.
Elena, Michaela, Marika.
I offer you an accord.
Deal.
Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the two fingers, offering guidance and aid.
Hey, leave her alone.
Tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you
Oh,
in
great.
your search for the Elden Ring.
Just what I was looking for.
You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
Sure.
Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter.
I like it better when their
I
their mouths don't
bequeath
move.
to you this ring.
Thank you.
Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed.
So is she the person who saved me from that first hard to win boss fight?
Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect. Shall I turn your runes to strength? Let my hand rest upon you. For but a moment, share them with me. Your thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you would follow.
Okay, so here's what I know. I want to focus on intelligence and mind with a background on vigor and endurance. This morning, as I was taking a walk, I was kind of remembering some of the soft caps. I've got it saved on my phone, but I don't know that currently. But I do know kind of like getting things like intelligence to like 20 is a good early point. Mind increases your magic points. Does it increase your amount of slots too? And then obviously Vigor and Endurance have their uses as well. Endurance, I guess. Dexterity increases your spellcasting speed, I think, but I'm not sure that actually affects me. Unless I'm doing incantations. Arcane is basically luck. I'm just going to do Intelligence to 20. I have the consumables too. Initiating under rail. Okay, let's go till morning. And let's take a look at what my boy Humdinger looks like, in case you guys haven't seen. What did that just say? Wish I didn't skip that. Okay. First off, let's take a look at what my guy looks like. There he is. Aged. Minimum size in all functions except for head. Everything else is at the absolute bare minimum. Lustrous hair. A third eye on my forehead. Silvery look. Violet eyes behind the blindfold. The goal is Raistlin from the Dragonlance books that I read as a child. That's what we're going for here. Okay, so I need to read what they said there about the pouch. How do I read it? Examine using X? What button is X? There we go. From pouch to the main menu, you can equip 6 items to your pouches. 4 of those items can be used without opening the main menu. Which button is Y? How do I do that? Pouches. Talisman. Moika. Okay. Oh, there's the pouch over there. What is that? Memory of Grace? No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Whoa, easy, buddy. Remove. Switch. Spectral Steed Whistle. Okay, we're in the money, baby. Here's the next thing I'm gonna do. I'm going to inventory. Gilden Rune. Ewes. Don't I have 2 of these? I thought I did. I thought I had 2. Was I wrong? I only had 1. Okay, I get 1 more level. Nice. Okay, so triangle and up. Level up. Intelligence. Yeah, I didn't need to do that, but whatever. You got a million of these games. Okay, so they want me to go to the Shadow of the Erd Tree. Is that not correct? Okay. 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 Oh. Oh, don't die. Okay. So. This is what they want for story. But I've got the ability to level up now, so now I can kind of just wander around and fuck around, basically. Feel good about that. Oh. Doesn't feel too good, does it? Well, that did 2 damage, oh my god. An important item, you say? Well, then these guys are in big trouble. Oh. Ooh, that's my body. Okay, forget this. I gotta make sure they just don't block it, because it's inefficient for me. Is that what you meant? Or is there something else? Uh-oh. Ooh. I don't like that. Oh, my least favorite is hacked in these games. Oh. Ooh, that was a nice stab. He's gonna kill me here. Yeah. Okay. So they show, do they populate the area? Now I get to look at my map. Oh. State of Marika. Stake of Marika. Is that the beginning? Oh shit. Oh. Okay. Ooh, okay. Now you're speaking my language. All right. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, not good at all. Whoa, that spell smacks people, dude. Oh, watch out. Oh, it was bad. It was really bad. Gotta make sure it hits multiple people, it's not worth it. I didn't hit him. Oh, watch out. After all this, I can't die. Okay. You still buddies? State of Marika are those little cross-like things, restart points for big camps, long grindy areas, or dungeons. I like that once you get something for a second time, they don't show it prominently to open up your whole screen. That was the first time I got to use the glintstone arc. That was absolutely smashing people. That was fun. And I gotta say, this is like one of the messages you sent me before that it didn't really directly address. But like, I gotta say the like difference in eating was so revelatory. Not a lot of those things I can necessarily like replicate easily. But a lot of the food I was eating just like agreeing with me so well. I really liked it. We were walking like 20,000+ steps a day. I like burned a lot of like belly fat. And like just enjoyed the food quite a bit. But a lot of those things is going to take me a while to learn how to make. I've like made a big Amazon order of like kombu and like wakame or wakane, whatever it's called, things like that. I'm gonna try to work on it a little bit, but it's not exactly easy for me to get where I am. But I really enjoyed the way I was eating. Like even like the like everyone kind of like knows like the memes of how good like the 7-Elevens are, but like the onigiri, like the red, like the salmon and like sea salt onigiri, like the pickled plum ones, like the jelly drinks, like the mineral jelly drinks, they're so good. People eat really differently. Okay, so I have no flasks of Crimson Tears. Hey, buddy. Sorry. Vanquishing an enemy group will replenish your flask. The number and type of flask will be replenished varies depending on the enemy group. You cannot replace the number of flasks in your Okay, that replenished everything to clear the camp. Interesting. That's good to know. That's really convenient because I just found a way down. Smile. But like the rice balls were so good, man. If I could choose, like, obviously some of the sushi I had was like including I went to this place that was, I forget what was the name of it. It was in Roppongi. It was sort of like a standing room only, like 6 seats at a counter, and they make you piece by piece sort of omakase style sushi. I had one of them, so it was like, I don't know, it's like 7,000 yen or something like that for like 10 pieces. One of them was uni, and it was like the best one I've ever had. I've had like Michelin star uni before, but this one was like unreal. Like I know that so many people like it because of the creamy sweet flavor / texture, but this one like exploded in my mouth with like the taste of seawater. It was really incredible. Really, really, really incredible. It was like a rich light orange. Yeah. But like I've never had anything like it. Like I never liked oysters until I had oysters that I was like, oh, I get it. These taste like the bay in which the oysters are harvested. And like an Atlantic versus a Pacific one would taste better. But this uni was like this. Like it felt like I just got it. Is it umi or uni? It's uni, right? It just tastes like it came out of the ocean. With a whetstone knife, you can use Ashes of War to grant your armaments new skills as Sights of Grace. An armament can only have one skill. Any skill it previously had will be removed. An armament's type determines what skills it can have. Some special armaments have unique skills and can be granted new ones. Okay. Storm Stomp. Whetstone knife. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I know. I was trying to figure whether I didn't remember whether it was uni or umi. But umi is something different. Yeah, I know what it is. But it was really, really good. Yeah, I downloaded the Michelin Guide app on my phone. And I use that a lot of times to figure out stuff. It's a little bit unhealthy, but like... I couldn't do it because of Andrea's shellfish allergies. But I could have just eaten omakase tempura the whole trip. So good. Like a tempura ebi is either having it in like an udon soup or just having it on its own. That shit is crack. It's so good. It's so good. I had a lot of good ramen bowls. I did, yeah. I did practice my Japanese and it was useful for reading stuff, but it's not like it didn't make or break the trip to have like passable Japanese, you know what I mean? Like I know the grammar, I can read hiragana and katakana, not kanji, but it didn't change anything. Like either with Google Translate or people's like basically experience with English, it's kind of like being in France a little bit. Like they're gonna respond to you in English if they hear your Japanese is like not that good. So it didn't really change anything. But it was fun to practice. Some people like it. Oh, that's a chest. Oh. A flail, you say? But yeah, it was fun. And sometimes being able to read signboards to tell like what the restaurant was or like what a neighborhood was helpful. I have like a million things to say. It's kind of hard to like organize it. Look, they're all in a line here. This is funny. It's hard to organize how all the things to say, but I did not find the ramen to be like leaps and bounds better than the ones I've had in like really good places in Toronto and Vancouver. I did not find it to be like massively different. Part of the reason is that most of the ramen places in Tokyo, or like the popular setup is like shoyu style, and I don't really find shoyu style to be that crazy. I find for ramen, like if it's not tonkotsu, I don't really think the flavor is that rich. That's the problem. The tonkotsu one can be very good or it can be bad, but like you can at least explore the range of it. But shio and shoyu ones, I just don't have the same understanding of how rich and delicious the flavor is. I really like black sesame ones. I really like tonkotsu ones. The soba was obviously good. The chashu is like a step up, but not much of a step up. It's like a ladle full of soy sauce, a ladle full of some other golden clear liquid, and then the rest of like the rest of the broth they make, which is usually pork and chicken. It's good. Not like it's. I just don't like it as much as I like tonkotsu in terms of getting that really, really rich animal sourced flavor. One thing I do really enjoy. There's a couple of things I really enjoy. One is, I really like how the zoning works. That people can have smaller restaurants. Some of the things that I was really appreciating. Oh, Let's go. Some of the things that I was really appreciating is how many restaurants we went to, especially kind of like medium higher end restaurants, are like 12 to 14 seats. And it'll be 2 kitchen staff and 1 it'll be 2 kitchen staff and 1 sort of front of house / helper. And the thing that's so amazing, and then they'll probably do 2 seatings, 1 at 6, 1 at like 8:30, and then they're done. And they walk you out. It's unreal. But the thing I really appreciated about it was, like, these kitchens are well-oiled machines. Like, really, really impressive how little people communicate with each other. I'm recognizing some movesets from previous games, but like how little they communicate with each other, I just thought it was really impressive. Ooh, that was a generous hitbox, buddy. It's really hard to hit people on the horse sometimes. Ooh, the horse kick. Ooh, okay. You good? That I found really impressive. Like, it's because they have sort of a hierarchical style, I think. I want to make sure that I have, like... Okay, so I want to replenish my flasks. How much? I want to see how much this guy replaced me for, so I'm not going to use this. But I will go ping, ping, ping. So that did not replace my flasks. But it did give me another ash. Grants affinities and skills to an armament. It doesn't. How do you tell which one it is? Gotta just use it, I guess. This is so bewildering. Like how much there is to do. But yeah, I really like that about restaurants. I also find that my impression is that something I really appreciated is how like well executed a lot of stuff is. Like even if you're like at a hotel and a hotel's like, we're offering little sets of macarons. Those are going to be better than like 85% of macarons you get in Canada or like North America. One thing I also found funny is that there's a lot of French and Italian cuisine. And sometimes you look at the restaurant. Sometimes you look at like the food and you're like, I don't think these guys really understand Italian food. It seems like a little bit noodly and a little bit odd. And to some degree, oh shit. And to some degree that was kind of true. But at the same time, once in a while, like we found a place, oh god. We found a place that was in Hiroshima that we went for Italian food. It was damn good. It was like actually so perfectly executed. This guy really nailed me there. Can you just die, please? So this time the horse took it. Hey, buddy. I don't think I have the juice to take out this these two guys. Where do I find a nearby? Where do I find a nearby site of group? Whoa. What are we doing, buddy? I need a high vantage point. I need to find a great. I need to find like a recharge site. Okay, good point. Good point. Irrefutable facts. I think there's another option. It was here. Reset camera y-axis. Yeah. Okay. That means it goes like here, and it should go back up. It didn't do it there, but maybe it will later. What's going on, guy? How you been? Speaking of like standard distorted craft topics, one thing I got to check out a little bit was I thought that Nintendo Direct was quite good. There's a lot of stuff there that was actually pretty cool. Namely the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake looks good. You been playing Power World again? Nice. Yeah, my cousin's been playing Power World. Excuse me. Okay. She's really been liking it. She normally likes games like Stardew and stuff like that. I wish I had a backup. I guess I should use my short sword if I wanted to like tag someone for a tiny bit of damage at the end. Gold pickled foul foot. What are we saying here? I guess that's an item. Boost rune acquisition for a time. Okay, cool. One thing that's comforting about using wizard stuff is I know I have a limited pool of equipment to use, so I'm not constantly like worrying about new gear and new gauntlet stuff. I don't think I have the juice to kill this thing. Maybe I do. You can actually run out of endurance for spamming spells. Yeah, it looks good. Just gonna use all my resources. What are we doing here? You know, what are we doing? It might be part of this might be partially because I'm using like targeted spells. This might actually be a better time to use the like automatically switch targets once you switch targets. Once someone dies thing. Can I talk to that person on the cross? I mean, I would like to know what you're talking about first. Did I miss somebody? Did you say that a bit ago and I just like missed who you're talking about? How do I get up there? On an unrelated note, oops. I heard that platforming elements are generally better to do with your horse because you can double jump. I don't think that's the case here though. One thing I'm really looking forward to, this is a September thing, but like when's the patch 7 comes out and I can play Baldur's Gate 3 again. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do for August. Maybe play Shining Force 3 and maybe play Valheim. But I am really looking forward to playing Baldur's Gate 3 again. I have no like juice left. Classic sorcerer issues. I'm out of juice. My scrotum is drained. My potence is at an all-time low. I can barely maintain. Okay, how do I get up there? Obviously from up there. You have to go down to go up. Pretty respectable. Better than I thought I would. Okay, glowstone, don't know what that is. You mean just from over there? This boy can really jump like that, huh? Oh, here we go. Oh, nice. You don't have to get down to harvest stuff, thank God. And have you ever watched Death Note? I finally finished Death Note yesterday. Kind of like dedicated myself to making sure I finished it this weekend. Trina's Lily. Thank you. Okay, all this crafting stuff. Got it. Yeah, that's what most people say. There's 37 episodes. And most people say after a critical event that happens around 26, I believe, the rest of it's not great. But I also read that while that final third is sort of hard to get through, the ending is worth it. And I finished it yesterday. I'm not really sure that's necessarily true. I wouldn't say like I felt like actively let down, but I did feel like I just didn't really feel that much for it. But I do think for the first 2/3, that is a very interesting show concept. and quite enjoyable to watch. The sort of like intellectual duel. I enjoyed that a lot. My like Japan cultural hunger is pretty high right now. So that's one of the ones that refills you 2 flask charges. Okay, I gotta make sure I know what the difference is. Wow, this is quite a view, isn't it? Okay, so I can go brave that tomb now. So it refills about 80% of my magic, but 90% actually. I'm a horsey. The thing with the horsey is, like, at this point, I'm trying to explore everything. So doing it faster is not necessarily what I need. Okay, these waypoint ruins have not given me like a camp buff for clearing them yet. Does that mean there's more flowers, or does it mean I have to beat through the bottom area? I got there's not a whole lot of anime that I'm really attached to. That guy looks like a cool samurai. I was talking about this earlier. I was talking about this earlier with Vulgar, but oh, that gave me a buff. How do I figure out what that buff is? I went there knowing that if I found a certain kind of memorabilia, namely, and maybe something like a mech figurine from Xenogears or Evangelion, I would buy it. And I did find like a 1998 era id Weltall, like 6-inch figurine that I was absolutely astonished that I found at like a place in Akihabara, which is like one of the nerd meccas. Okay, traverse the mist. I feel like I should find a Grace first, but I just don't know where to find a Grace around here. And so I got that, and there's a place I encourage you to look up. But there's a place in, I think it was in Shibuya. It's a really tall department store tower called Parco, P-A-R-C-O, that had an entire, like, From Software merchandise store. There's a dungeon in there. Do you think I need more charges? I kind of want to find a Grace first, so I'm, like, well charged before I fight the pumpkin. All I've got is 1 flask of each. Broke. I want to find a Grace. I can't find her anywhere. Yeah, there's a place called Torch that had like Sekiro and like Bloodborne and Elden Ring and Dark Souls merchandise. And I've got a t-shirt that I'm very happy with. And you'll see why I'm so happy with it once you see it. Right now it's in plastic, so it wouldn't be like perfectly clear how good it is, but it is So great. I can't even describe to you. It was like I walked past the store and I looked in and I was like, oh. Andrea had no idea what I was so jacked up about. There was a State of Marika Cross to go back to. Is that the summoning thing? It is so much better. They had a lot of really nice ones. They had one that, like, I think is a little cool, but a little bit hard for, like, aesthetically. They had, like, one that was, like, the Shinobi prosthetic. They had a Genichi. They had a very good Genichiro t-shirt from Sekiro. They had Alexander, who's very popular from this game, I understand. They had a lot. They had Mikolash from Bloodborne. They had a lot. But the one I got, when I wear it, or when I show it to you, you'll understand why I think it's so great. Also, I was talking about this earlier, but something that's very, very funny is how I was I'm like a relatively medium-sized man here, but in Japan I was an LL. That was pretty fun. I gotta reset my teleport, hold on. Being a Japanese double large was fun, but the unfortunate part is it makes shoe sizes a little difficult. That guy sounds like the guy from Bloodborne. Like when they give you complimentary slippers and stuff like that at a hotel, like those do not fit me. Yeah. Like they do not fit me at all. Like they give you a complimentary slipper. It's like it barely fits over like the width of my foot, let alone fitting comfortably. Nice for Andrea, not so nice for me. All right, let's find that little tomb again and just give it a go. I'm lost. Where is it? Oh. Yeah, I didn't see any interactables there. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. I'm gonna lose all my souls because of this. Can't even see him. Fuck, man. This is a bummer. I knew I shouldn't have gone down here. I don't even have the juice to kill this guy. Fuck. I'm dead. I could have like moved over to the short sword and taken him out afterwards. You do have the juice, but the targeting targets his armored head. Oh. Well. This is the stake of Marika. This is not where I was at all. Oh, it kind of is. It's this thing? Okay. But this is the summon pool. Are these guys all gonna be back? Okay, let's try this again. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, I see. Fuck, man. Wait, where are my souls? They're there. Focus, focus, focus. Get the souls. What am I doing? How am I gonna do this targeting? Okay, so I can reliably get here and get my souls back. And I should have, with 3 full flasks, enough charge to cut through this boy. I'm just a little kind of stilted on... why I'm doing the reduced damage. Whatever, I can't do anything with that. Did I get him? Yeah. Oh. I haven't seen him do a 3-hit combo like that before. Classic. Tunnel in. Okay, I just don't want to die boom. Why are my souls out here this time? Wonder why. Anyway, I'm gonna go use my souls before I fight this guy. Ah, fuck it, whatever, keep going. I can sometimes get it to hit his head, to hit the body. Namely then, after that attack. Oops. Oh, that was bad. Man, fuck this guy. Yeah, they're quite close to each other. Mariko's a little bit hard to see there. Marika. Stupid. You can hit him, you can hit his body more reliably. Fuck. I'm dead. Shit. Oh. Nothing bums me out in these games more than being stuck in a corner. Or getting hit while moving. Or drinking. Am I dead here or no? I wonder if that little camera jolt is the thing that's happened before where my controller is like disconnecting sometimes. If I can reliably see that's the case again, I'm just going to switch over to the PS5 controller and recognize that the PS4 controller has had its time in the sun. I can probably eat lunch soon. What am I stuck on, man? Oof. That was hard to get the timing on. Shoot. Oh. Should I heal him? Stupid. I can't chip him in here. I'm not sure. I went to the grocery store and got stuff, mostly for dinner and stuff like that, but with it being summer soon and everything, I'm not really sure what I eat lately. I'm gonna mess around with some stuff, but I'm gonna mess around with some stuff from like where I was and eat a little bit differently for a while, but we're basically just in charcoal season. Hitting the targeting hitting his head is really annoying to me. So I don't know how to go about that. I have a slight amount of targeting going on. I have a certain amount of like auto targeting going on. Still hitting for 22. You go behind him. Stupid. Keep it. It's close. Oh, my soul's right. Oh no. My souls! Did I get him? Yeah. Okay, so I have to find a way to reliably hit his weak point more. Basically, just not hit him front on. Like so. Shit. Stupid. I'm surprised that hit me. Shit. That's the only time to reliably get the weak point. Fuck. Okay, I'm dead. So there's only one recovery animation where I feel like I can hit him with it. Oh shit. Thomas, what are you doing? I think you gotta get behind him more. complete miss, eh? I'm dead. I might try the other one. I was thinking about that a little bit. But I think you gotta like, so that you're not doing 22 damage constantly, I think you have to get kind of go through him. You have to kind of get behind him a little bit better than I have been. The one time I died really, really quickly was the one time that my souls were outside of here. So once I beat this guy, I'll go to lunch. Oh my god. I wasn't on my healing thing, and going to his offhand, I found it harder to read what he was doing. So frustrating. Sucks with his, whoa, easy there, buddy. Yeah, the one time the soul showed up on the other side was when I died really quickly. No, it does less damage and a slower animation. That did not. Thomas, what are you doing? This is mad annoying. you kind of just gotta maneuver around him a little better. I'm dead here, I think. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. I mean, I get how to do this. Just kind of move around him a little better. A lot of times I take most of the damage early, and then I start being careful and kind of tighten it up. So it's just kind of like being sloppy at the beginning. That little creature they showed on the loading screen there really reminds me of like something I saw at the Osaka Aquarium, which are like these weird little eels that like anchor themselves into the soil, and then just like all orient themselves in a single direction to eat plankton. So they're all like got their tails borrowed into the air. The tails borrowed into the soil. It's very funny. Okay, I got this guy this time. Okay, just like that, man. Good job. I could see it. Is that here? Nope. That's a quick counterattack. He really fucked me there. Yeah, your advice was good. It just took me a while to kind of internalize it. Yeah, you just gotta kind of maneuver around him a little bit more. That was one of the big gaps, is that I did not get eel that often. I love unagi. I love unagi. But I did not get it that often. And that's mostly... This is not... It's mostly because it, like... grossed out Andrea. But that's not a reason for me not to get it, but it just turned out to be a reason for me that I didn't get it. Fortunately, because I really do like it. See, that was a bit of a gap in the experience for sure. I really tried to get, like, outside of a couple of things, I really tried to eat. I need 2 more levels. I need 1 more golden rune to get more. I really tried to eat a variety of stuff. I thought I'd eat a lot more sushi than I did. I know, I love it so much. It's so good. Okay, so when I go for lunch, which is now-ish, I guess. I think I'll just go now. I'm gonna look into what my like soft cap and level breakpoints and like what things I want to aim for, because I don't like you want to have enough health and endurance, especially health, to be kind of keeping along with it. But obviously, my like intelligence scaling and mind stuff are the most important things. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go eat something quickly. I should be back in like half an hour. Maybe less. I'm going to look into like those level things. And then on with my life. Yeah, I'll be back.